Hi, I'm David Pollendine. I work for IJM Canada in the Prairies, and we're back again to just have a look at how IJM are pivoting during this time of COVID-19 to protect the poor from violence around the world. I've come today actually to White Ridge Baptist Church, partly because it's round the corner from where I live, and I actually go to this church, but also because they've got a wonderful cafe inside called the Solid Grounds Cafe. And I think a lot of the work that IJM do is about putting people on solid ground. People live precarious lives. 40.3 million people in slavery. 4 billion people around the world are not protected by the law according to the UN. And so every step for people is precarious. And so if nothing else, the work of IJM is to place people on solid ground so they can walk and live and go about their daily lives just like the rest of us do. Let's go inside and have a look. It's here, and I'm speaking to you from the White Ridge Baptist Church's Solid Grounds Cafe. And I'm also very excited that we're going to be hearing from Cherished, the CEO of Castellan Information Security Services, and his company will be sponsoring or be a sponsor at the upcoming Cherished, More Precious Than Gold Canada-wide online event where we're trying to raise money for 12 rescues in the Philippines from cybersex trafficking. So it'd be great to hear from Uzza, and especially to hear about his passion for justice and his passion for IJM. So for an immediate response, we're dealing with the needs of people who are being affected by COVID-19. And for that, I'm going to just take you over from our Solid Grounds Cafe, I'm going to walk you over to another area of the church foyer here at White Ridge Baptist Church, which is the Welcome Centre. And of course there is a place where you kind of get information about what's going on in the church, and you can see there are different books and things to help people sort of orientate themselves around the church. And so I want to focus really on a story that comes out of South Asia, and it's actually because of the surge which is happening of violence against women during this time of COVID-19. So IJM have partnered with the local state commission for women on a publication called A Guide to Dealing with Abuse, Safety and Coping Strategies for Women During COVID-19. With a surge in the number of domestic violence cases and other forms of violence on women during the lockdown, the commission reached out to IJM to create a simple coping strategy for women during this period. This guide will serve as a safety manual for victims of abuse in difficult situations and gives ideas for advice each day of the week. Well, I wanted to focus in on a story today from South Asia of an IJM partner who helped the authorities to rescue two brothers from a goat herding farm where they were enslaved. One was 13, the other 15, and they came from a large family of 8 siblings living in dire poverty in southern India. To get by, their parents took a loan of 40,000 rupees, which is about $540, from a local farm owner. In exchange, he took the 2 sons to work off the debt tending his goats. Now, these young brothers were forced to graze 100 goats across vast grasslands without proper food or shelter, which kind of gives you an idea of the vastness here, what it could have looked like. And at night they had to sleep under the rains alongside the goats. Well, thankfully, IJM's partner, Arula Parave, indicated to the authorities that there were these 2 boys that needed rescuing, and so the district administration were able to go and demand of the farm owner that he hand over the boys. And authorities are now pursuing legal action against the goat farm owner. Our partner NGO have also helped the boys move into a shelter home to get the aftercare they need and to be able to re-enroll in school. I've come downtown here in Winnipeg. I'm standing outside the law office, and that's because we're going to go for a long-term response to Bolivia, where pro bono assistance has been offered for sexual survivors. And so this is where we're trying to just continue the work of protecting people from violence, and that work just goes on. Bolivian students and professionals have shown a keen interest in participating in a training course equipping students and professionals to provide pro bono assistance to victims of sexual assault and accompany clients through the criminal justice process. The course is offered free of charge, but volunteers are required to accept at least 1 pro bono case. The director of the programme and director of IJM Bolivia, Alejandra Camara, said that the trained professional volunteers are well received in court.
My name is Cherished, and I am the managing director of a firm called Castellan Information Security Services. We do end-to-end information security services for our clients, and we are supporters of IJM.
So, Uzza, how did you first hear about IJM?
So it was actually over 10 years ago that I first heard Gary speak. It was at a Global Leadership Summit hosted by Willow Creek Church out of Chicago. And what really caught my eye or caught my attention was when he mentioned that when law is enforced, it actually is the biggest deterrent for perpetrators.
So what motivates you to support the work of IJM?
When I heard Gary speak about the injustices that happen around the world, and he gave examples of forced farm labor in Africa and so on, or the brick kiln laborers and slaves in India, I could look back at my childhood growing up in Pakistan, and as I'm going to the school, watching children who were my age or even younger than my age were making their way to a carpet factory, which is kind of the face of slavery in that country. So what motivates me is that I can relate to children growing up in Pakistan in those slave conditions, because I was among them. I wasn't one of them, but I saw them.
So as your company, Castellan Information Security Services, is a sponsor for the upcoming Cherished event, what motivated you to be part of this event?
As a security organization, what caught the attention of our leadership team was specifically around the work that IJM is doing to rescue victims of cybersex trafficking. But these victims of cybersex trafficking do not have anyone protecting them. Technologies that were developed to enhance the life of mankind are actually being used to manipulate these individuals. So when we look at IJM's vision, spirit, their actions, they are in perfect alignment with Castellan's vision, spirit, and actions. So for us as an organization, to come alongside and support IJM, it was a very, very easy decision for us to make.
So going forward, how do you see Castellan supporting the work of IJM in kind of meaningful ways, and other corporates, other companies as well? What are ways that they can support the work going forward?
So the first and foremost way we can support IJM is financially, providing the funds that the organization needs to train their staff that are on the ground, to equip them, to properly prepare them, and to take care of the victims that are being rescued and be a part of their rehabilitation and so on. But then there's a second part, which is how do we complement the services and the strengths of IJM? And for an organization like us, we are in the business of information security and in the business of protecting data. We can come alongside and help you secure information, help you do data analytics on determining where the perpetrators are coming from and things like that.
So thank you, Azhar, for sharing your passion for IJM, and also just for your support for the upcoming Cherished event, More Precious Than Gold. And we're really looking forward. We've never done anything like this before, a Canada-wide online event, and we're very excited. We have lots of special guests, including the singer-songwriter Dean Brody, and be hearing from Azhar as well. He'll be sharing a testimonial. So it'd be great to see you on there. If you want to get a ticket, you just go to www.igm.ca/cherished. And thank you again for listening to this vlog, and thank you for your continued support of IJM as we walk through this difficult time of COVID-19, protecting the poor from violence. Until I see you again in a couple of weeks, God bless, take care and stay safe.